training, so you can go to that. I also posted that form, and where I really need everybody to put their topics that they're interested in into this form so that Robert and I can keep everything kind of in one area. It's a lot for us to bounce around between comments and emails and text messages and whatnot. So please make sure you put your ideas in here. You can answer this form as many times as you want to. So pro tip, if you've got 10 good ideas, you just put 2 at a time in there and do it 5 times. And then right here, this is a direct link to the new website that I keep referring to, and is where the video will be stored. Our other new topic in this Google Classroom is the recorded webinars topic. So here we go. That's from yesterday. It's 1 hour and 4 minutes of me droning on about Google Classroom. So you know where to find it here. And then, like I said, it's also in that new website. We placed it right here. Webinar video storage. That'll take you to a new page, and that will take you to the link that, again, more Kim. All righty. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about Cami. And I saw already somebody popped up in the chat window about where do I find it? Where do I get it? And you're totally going to know that by the end of this time, but I'm not going to start there because that can be that can take us sideways. But let's talk about first, what is the Cami app? I'm going to take you into my account really quick. So what is Cami? Cami is, first of all, a super cute name, and what I used to call my oldest son sometimes when he was a baby. But Cami is an annotation tool. It is housed as it is hosted as a Chrome extension, which means that it needs to be used just using the Chrome browser. You have to be in the Chrome browser. If nobody's gotten the message, we basically only use ClassLink through the Chrome browser. Chrome browser plays best and nicest with pretty much everything we do, and because we are becoming more and more of a Google district, it is Google Chrome. So it's your best shot to do everything through Chrome. It is a Chrome extension that you and your students can all add to your Chrome experience. I actually think it's been pushed to everybody, so it should just be sitting there. But even if you don't see it right away, I'm going to show you how you can get it. I've got it on every device I own, every browser account I have in Chrome. So don't worry about that. We're going to get it to you. When I tapped on this little K in the upper right-hand side of my Chrome browser, I'm in my extension. My opens up a page. You should know it's not square. Parents don't have to worry about it using up any kind of space on their computer. It is 100% approved. It's they have signed with the California Student Data Privacy Alliance, which means that they're not scraping out your kids' data or anything. So it's 100% endorsed and paid for the next year by Chino Valley Unified for every single student and every single teacher. So if you think you don't have it, we're going to talk. By the end of the time, you'll know you have it, and you can have a million different places. I'm in a PC right now. I'm using a regular Windows 10 computer, but because you can download Chrome browser on a Mac, of course, you can also have the Cami extension in Chrome on a Macintosh. It's obviously in a Chromebook because that's the only browser you use in a Chromebook. And if you are using an iPad, or your students might be using an iPad, it is possible to use the Cami app, but extension, but you have to be using the Chrome browser app on your iPad. All these things are actually addressed in the new website. So if obviously we're watching me now, and you'll watch a video again later, but right here, there's a Cami page where you can also find all kinds of backup about the things I'm talking about right now. Okay. My job for the first 15 minutes, though, is to convince you that it's worth checking out and what can you do with it. So what you can do with Cami is basically annotate or draw type on just about anything. I really do mean anything. By the way, somebody's not muted. Check your muting. Awesome. All right. Which means that I can have my kids can write on with their fingers or a stylus or using their mouse, which is a little awkward, or even the touchpad of whatever device they are on. They can draw, they can write, they can circle, they can highlight, they can annotate, and a whole bunch of other things. When you provide Cami assignments, which you can do through Google Classroom, you can assign them that task to draw, to write, to highlight, to even record their screen, which is super exciting. And again, I'm just trying to whet your appetite, but the types of documents that Cami will entertain that she, Cami sounds like a girl, the types of documents she enjoys, she likes PDFs, she likes Word, she likes Google Docs, she likes Google Slides, and she will even allow you to use other formats, and she will convert them for you so that your kids can draw on them. And so we'll do some demoing of all this stuff right now. Moving on, I'm going to do a quick sample from using an actual document from my Google Drive right here before actually making an assignment. I'm just going to open up something so I can show you the toolbar, because the toolbar is pretty robust. We'll talk about logging in and stuff later. Let me see, I'm going to go into training samples and see if I can pull up just a quick document here. I'll choose this one. This is a Google Doc. It's going to be opening up in my, hello, there it goes. It's opening up in my account. And before I go any further, the first thing people notice is that there's this bright yellow trial ends in 39 days. One more time, I'm going to mention to you that we're not on a trial, or maybe technically we are. Cami was provided to us free during the COVID break last year, and they just extended our use of the trial until the PO is processed and everyone is in. But basically, there will be no interruption in your service. So you and your students may see this little comment in the upper left, but you may just simply ignore it. All right, so I just opened up a Google Doc from my hard drive. I did not assign this. I'm just showing you the toolbar at this time, but I wanted you to be able to appreciate some of the things you can do with it. There is a dictionary, and so if I've got a question about a word, here's the word meditation, and there's a definition for it. Now that has nothing to do with annotation, but I'm just going to go top to bottom and show you a few things. So if you don't mind, I'll continue. Text to speech. Again, this is a pro bonus. I'm not sure we saw this with the free version before March of last year. So if you're new-ish to Cami, or you'd only been using the free version, text to speech is extremely cool.
This is a guidebook to the many different styles of meditation, the various.
Wow. It's amazing, and you can spend all day playing with these tools. I just want to convince you that it's worth looking at. Markup is where I can obviously highlight text, or what's neater is if I do a box highlighter and then say this whole section here, strike throughs, underlines, colors. This is, again, something I wasn't aware of even after we bought it. I was playing around with it, and I thought, well, I knew that you could leave a text comment. So if I want to leave a text comment about something right here, about this word learning, I can type something in, but I can also, as a student, speak my comment. This is confusing, okay? Or I can voice comment. What does judgment mean? And I can talk, by the way, guys, for 5 minutes. So maybe you don't want to let your kids know. I can. What do you think this means? That's right. It's a video comment. So I can right here. And now it is recording me. You can see it counting down right here. And when I'm done talking to my teacher about what's happening, or when I'm done adding this to a document, I just tap done. So this is extremely robust, the pro version that we're using here. This one right here, I won't demo it right now, but basically a student could be capturing the screen while they're talking. I'm going to demo this later on a blank sheet of paper, which we can create here. Text box. Clearly, I can create a text box right here. Oops, sorry. Text box right here, and I can type my name on my paper or whatever needs to be typed in, because we all know that if kids are going to be writing with their fingers, that might not always be the best way for us to read their thoughts and contributions. Let's see what else. Equations. I didn't play with equations, but I believe it'll allow you to put math symbols in there that are going to be much easier for your kids to interpret instead of you're having to handwrite them. Yay for our algebra and trig teachers. And then drawing. Our youngest kids are frequently being given assignments in which they simply need to write on their paper. And so I am going to choose a bright pink, and I am going to circle something here, and I'm going to say, 4 times 7 equals, I could be on any kind of sheet of paper, any kind of worksheet. I just happen to be on an article about meditation, but I could be on a bunch of things. And we will talk about how you get these papers or sheets in front of your students. Shapes, erasers, pulling in images from your computer or from a Google Drive and including them as part of a document or part of your evidence, and a signature. If you want your students signing their work when they're done, they can upload their signature and then include it as part of their finished work. So I told you I would spend 15 minutes just trying to whet your appetite. I bet that generated a ton of questions, and Robert is probably, he's in the other room. He's probably going nuts right now with all your questions. So let me start with a demo now, the best way, the most common way you're going to be using Kami. I'm going to go right here. Save. By the way, did you notice that when I tapped on save, it says that all changes are automatically saved? Yeah, we'll get to that later too. All right, I'm going to go into our into a classroom. I'm not going to use ours because I don't want to. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of samples. And so how about I go down to, I'm going to make a new class. And I'm just going to call this class Kami Samples. And you're just going to be watching how easy it is and the different ways you can be using Kami as a assignment type. Oh, that took longer than I wanted, so there we go. Okay, Kami sample. Let's skip everything else and go straight to here. Once you have signed into Kami for the first time, and again, I promise I'm not forgetting that. I promise we will get to that. It's a left turn that I don't want to get into right now. Once you've signed into Kami with your district account, which is your first name _ last name at chino.k12.ci.us and your network password, you will then automatically see Kami assignment in your Google Classroom. Again, we talk about how everything is syncing, everything's talking to each other, how this is a Google product, how Kami integrates with Google Classroom and Google Chrome. So this just happens automatically. And if I tap on Kami assignment, it knows automatically to do a couple of things. First of all, the assignment builder page looks just a little bit different. It doesn't fill the whole screen, alerting me and reminding me that I am making a Kami assignment. I'm going to Kami sample. Do I want all my kids or not? I don't have any kids right now, but just like any other assignment, I can choose which kids are getting it. And I'm just going to call this a Kami sample with a PDF. Now, the very first time you assign a Kami assignment to students, I have a recommended description, because that is the very most accurate and powerful way to have your kids find and log into Kami the first time. In all likelihood, it is sitting up there as an extension, and they could tap on it and log in. But to be most clear with your students, you could simply issue them a Kami assignment, and they are pushed into a document that they need to open with Kami, log in, and finish. Once they are logged in that first time, they will never have to do that, or should not have to do that again, unless they want to have Kami on a home computer or something like that, which they can obviously do. With the tiny ones, I know we're concerned about their logging in. The few times I've done it as a student, it actually came up with the student's username already, so they may not even have to type that in because everything is integrated. It looks like they won't have to, but I don't want to make a promise, because the minute I do is the minute it doesn't happen. I will share with you in our Google Classroom the wording for that first assignment. Right now, I simply want to show you how to assign a PDF. I don't need to answer these things right now, but you will, because there will be points for some of the things you assign, due dates, due times. You'll organize them in certain topics. But I'm going to recommend that we immediately go right into Google Drive, right here, and pull something that we would like our students to work on. I've got a folder right here that I called Training Samples. This is, again, part of our training towards the end, but before we open it up to questions, how to find what you want to show your kids, I already put some things in a folder I call Training Samples in my Google Drive. So when I open it, I've got a good selection of things I would like to show you, or I like to use for demonstrating. Okay, so for example, if I go to open this one, I know it's a PDF, and I'm assigning it to this particular assignment. Kami has decided that if I'm going to have a Kami assignment, I better make a copy for each student. So I don't have to remember to make a copy for each student. Kami and Google automatically make a copy for each student. So students, and there is no way students are going to be writing on the same piece of paper or the same assignment. I'm going to recommend that you don't tap this send Kami instructions, because it's a lot and it doesn't really necessarily apply to everybody. So I never check that off, and I tap assign. It's that simple to push this out. I'm going to open this up now, and it's going to be the student's version, if you will. So you can see what it would look like if I were a student opening this up. There's their assignment. Open with Kami. Right now, you saw there's 372 people with this, and now I've got those same tools over here. Again, first time for a student to log in. I will familiarize you with that in a minute, but right now I've got students all looking at a sheet of paper. I would need to have directions for them. I'm going to put a little text box up here. I want my name to be orange. I'm going to put it there, and I am there. Date, work, they can draw. Again, remember drawing. And so I can, whatever is appropriate here. I'm sure that's not appropriate, but I am just etching. Depending on the age of your students, you may want to encourage certain tools or not encourage certain tools. All right, that was just a real quickie. I'm going to save now. Okay, let me leave this page for a minute. And here on the website, our new website that I keep encouraging you to go to, right here where it says find and sign into Kami. This is a little video that is for students, but I'm sure you'll watch it first. That shows them how to log into Kami, what kinds of questions they should expect. I'm going to show you just a couple of parts of it. You don't have to watch the whole thing. We don't need to take 3 of our minutes to do this, but I know how much teachers like to see the students' experience. You know what? Okay. Now, I'm going to stop presenting just for a heartbeat, because when I show a video in a Google Meet, it is best to share differently. So I'm going to stop presenting, and I'll show you what I'm looking at here. Down here, you can see you cannot see my screen, but down at the bottom of my screen, the white ribbon, and you guys can all see that same white ribbon, there is a present now. Okay, And you can tap on that. It won't hurt anything, but don't tap any further for me, okay? When you tap on Present Now, there are 3 choices. This whole time in our Meet, I've been using the top one that's called Your Entire Screen. But when I show a video in a Google Meet, I'm going to choose the one called a Chrome tab. So that's what I'm going to do right now. A Chrome tab will open a screen that will allow me to choose the page that has a video on it, whatever I have open and ready to go. And so I'm going to share that with you now. But I'm just letting you know that the best way to share a video, since we're all together and we're all using Google Meet this year, tapping on share, I'm on the page, I'm hitting play. Oh! Can I tell you the quality is supposed to be better, and that sounded awful on my end. I'm going to go ahead and just move along here so you can see a couple of things. Okay, right here, we did not actually see the student's view. I apologize for that. It did show me a teacher view. When your students go into Kami and they get their Kami assignment, this is their view. When they tap on View Assignment, this is their view. In the right column, they have the assignment with their name attached to it at the beginning. So if Robert were a student in my class, it would say Robert Jewett hyphen and then the name of the assignment. Students tap that assignment. It opens and it asks them to, oops, go back one little image. It opens, it asks them to log in. Remember how I said that every time I've done it as a student, it has actually brought up the student's email so they didn't have to enter it by hand. I can't promise that, but that is my 100% experience so far. So they would simply tap on that. It would take them into, again, just trying to be clear here, it will ask them to allow access. So you would tell them to tap allow, and they can watch this video. This video right here is available to you to share with all your students. That's why we made it. It asks them a couple of questions. They're a K-12 school, which they probably know. They probably know that they're a student. They probably know how to hit finish. But again, it's kind of a drag to have them do that at all. But just the one time is all we'll have. I usually have people just skip past this little Kami video and just tap on continue. And then kids are taken into their account and they get used to going to open with Kami and they get their toolbar. When they're done doing their work, when they're done either commenting, typing, drawing, circling, finishing a drawing, highlighting, close reading, markup, whatever you have your students doing, showing their work, they, because it was an assignment in a Google Classroom, are provided with a turn in. You didn't see that with my quick sample, but they are provided with a turn in button right here. When they tap on that, it opens this drop down and they turn in a second time. Not sure why Google Classroom is so fond of having kids hit turn in twice, but it's good for us to know, turn in twice. You can see right here where it's turning it in, and this was indeed the name of the Google Classroom. You don't have to do anything to that, but when students are done doing what they need to do, turn in, and that's it. They don't have to do anything inside the Google Classroom. It goes directly into the Google Classroom. All right. Again, this is a 3-minute video and you're welcome to watch it. You're welcome to share it with your students. But that is generally what the student experience looks like. I'm going to close this. Because I closed it, when I closed that, by the way, you notice that it stopped presenting also. Okie dokie. Couple of things. If I go to create another Kami assignment, you saw that I added a PDF this time. What if I want to include a Word document? I'm sorry, not a Word document, a Google Doc document, a typed document. Perhaps I've typed something out and I want them to find the errors, but perhaps I've got a piece of reading that I pulled from, I copied and pasted from a website or a reader that we're using. If I have Declaration of Independence puzzle directions, sure, I'm going to tap on that. That is a Word document. I can tell because of the icon and because I know what it is. Just So to name it sample. Makes a copy for each student every single time. I don't select this. I always choose those other things, and it is successfully taking that Word document and assigning it to my class. So everything I want, you'll notice I keep taking out of that training sample folder. I know where my things are. They're in my Google Class, my Google Drive. I can also create a Kami assignment with a Google Slides presentation. So again, I didn't name that last one, by the way, so I'll call this one Slides. Here, I'm going to open up my Google Drive, training samples, and then I see I have a couple of things here. This is a Google Slides presentation called My Daily Work. Tap it, select. I got a name, I've got assigned, everything. Everyone gets their own copy of this particular presentation. And kids can students may put whatever work they want in this presentation. I'm going to go ahead and open it and show you what this one looks like. Again, this is not student view. I was mistaken. I thought it was going to show us a student view. All right, but as a student, I would eventually just be able to open with Kami once I've logged in that first time and have all the tools over here. This slides presentation, though, is going to be more than one page, and it leaves a lot of blanks. You can make as many pages as you want. This is not a terrible idea for having a space in which kids show their work. Maybe you have them show one problem in which they did a really terrific job. They were successful. So if I were a student and I can pick my color, which is super fun. I like this kind of orangey color here. And I did, 37 plus 10 really well. But I need support with 37 plus 14. I don't know how to do that, or maybe I show my work. So in student world, this is nice. I can give you my success, what I need help with. I can be typing something in if I'd rather have them type something here and draw, then we've got a space for it. So whatever you want to do. Again, this is just a Google slide. So again, if I want to write my name in, I can type my name in. I think you're kind of understanding what the power of this thing is. So I've whet your appetite enough, and you've seen how easy it is to issue a Kami assignment. Let's talk about how we get the work we want to show students ready for them. I'm going to go into my Google Drive right here. I'm in my district account. There is that folder I keep using called Training Samples. And in this folder in my Google Drive, where I put things I want to use for Kami, I haven't determined when I'm going to use them perhaps. Maybe I'm just collecting up some math. Maybe I'm just collecting up things. The whole system works much, much better if I make sure that I am pulling from my Google Drive. It is possible to pull something off your desktop, but it's not recommended. It gets a little wonky at that point. So instead of pulling something off my computer and adding it as a Kami assignment, I recommend simply dragging and dropping a document from my desktop into my Google Drive, and then it's there for me. I don't have to go from here into a Kami assignment. So everything I want to use can be dragged and dropped into any folders, however you have your work organized in your Google Drive. In here, I also want to not demonstrate, but point out that this was actually a PowerPoint. This was a back to school night packet that I prepared in PowerPoint. I dragged and dropped it from my computer's desktop or hard drive into Google Drive, and it made it into a slide. I know it's slides because it's got that little icon. Now to do this is to automatically convert anything. Perhaps you have some Microsoft Word documents you'd like to use, or actual PowerPoints. To do that, you'll want to make sure, and you'll probably come back and watch this video to make sure. You want to make sure that up here in the gear in your Google Drive, you have gone to settings and you have tapped this little box right here where it says convert uploads. This automatically converts to the Google Sphere. It might not be a perfect conversion because there are two different companies and they're competitors, but for the most part, this is going to ensure that you're going to get the best kind of conversion from a Microsoft format into the Google format. I'm just checking the time here. We've got 1:36. And so as I pan through here, you'll see I have a bunch of PDFs. I like PDFs, but I can actually use something that is a JPEG, and it will allow drawing on top of pictures sometimes. I'm going to now need to switch though into how to make sure you have it and how to download it and whatnot. I'm not sure where to start. Let's see. Open a new tab so it's not distracting. Okay, so I am currently in my district account. If I tap on this little circle at the very tippy top of my browser, when I tap on that, I can see this is my district account, even though it's got a face on it. Kim_James@chino.k12.ca.us is my username for all things Google in my district account. And I can see that right here, I have Cami. You might as well, super, but you might not, and that's okay too. It's super easy to add. Let's see if I can go into a different account. See if I can maybe demonstrate how to just simply add it. Okay, I don't see right here that I have Cami. It's not appearing where my Chrome extensions normally go. I'm going to click on this little puzzle piece. Nope, I don't see it there. And so if I want to add Cami to a computer that I'm not logged into the district account, I can do that. It's really super straightforward. It doesn't cost anything. You can have the extension put in many different places. You maybe use your husband's computer for something, or maybe use your wife's computer for something and you want to add it to theirs. It costs nothing. It doesn't clutter the world. And just make sure that if you're adding it, you're still logging in with your district Google account. So I'm going to just type in Chrome Store, Cami, and enter. And the very first thing is going to be the Cami PDF Chrome extension. Open that up, and it's going to say add to Chrome. This is what will happen with you. I'm pretending like I don't have it, which I don't in this particular account. Cami extension, add to Chrome, perfectly safe and costs nothing. Add extension, and there she is. I'm going to go ahead and X out of this. Now she disappeared, so remember that puzzle piece. I just need to pin her so I can see her, okay? And now that blue circle with a white K is present. I'm going to tap on it and see if I'm logged in. If I'm not logged in, what am I going to log in with? My district Google account. I'll go ahead and demo that so you can see what the questions are. It's pretty similar to what the kids have to do as well. Because I am still on the same device, it might actually find my username for me. Let's see what happens here. Nope, it didn't. That's okay. I can type pretty quickly. And my password. Sometimes I mumble it when I'm typing it, so don't listen. This is the first time this account is meeting me, and so I have had to log in. By the way, you'll get this pop up when you, if you log into yours today. This is a little reminder. I told you about this at the beginning of our session. And I'm completely logged in. I didn't get the questions. It recognized my account. That's dandy. That is super awesome. So here it is. Now, somebody else asked at one time that they saw it was in our class link. And so let's see if I have my class link open anywhere right here. This is my class link page. And if I go up to the plus sign And I'm going to go into all apps because all apps we have access to. Chino Valley Unified is just our vetted student area. And I'm just going to type in Cami. Well, it used to be there. Let's see if I can find it in here. Maybe I was incorrect about where it is. I was incorrect about where it is. If I add this to my page, and it is in the student area, I can do that. But you want to see what it does? It just opens up the extension. Oh, wonderful. It just opens up the extension. Trust me, that's what happens. I'm messing around with a bunch of different accounts, but it's just going to open up basically what it looks like when you go here. It's just going to open up this screen. There was something I was going to show you on a blank sheet. So maybe if I go there, if you want to create something in Cami, you may do that. It'll allow you to start with a blank sheet, and you can obviously add images that you might have inside your Google Drive and place them in there. What was I going to show you? Well, I'm afraid I've forgotten what I was going to show you on a blank sheet, but know that you can start with a blank sheet of paper and create a document here. It is not going to have a turn-in button because you're not doing an assignment. If you want to save it, it's going to automatically save to your Google Drive account, and it will save in a folder that is automatically made for you called Cami. Okay, let me look at my notes for a minute and see if there's anything that I've forgotten about. Ah, yes, pulling documents. I mentioned briefly that you can pull documents from your desktop and have them housed in your Google Drive, but you can also find documents in some of our applications that Chino Valley Unified uses. And so if you, for example, are teaching with Savas EasyBridge, which is the old Pearson EasyBridge, it's exactly the same, just changed names. You can find, you may find, I'm going to actually do something here. I'm going to stop presenting just for a second. So I'm going to do something really secretive on my screen so you can't see. If you want to pull the reteaching or practice pages or any other page that you can download, you can then play with those in Cami. If you want to just play with them in Cami on your own during teaching, you can certainly do that, or you can download them and assign them to your students in Cami. I know that we're limited as to the different things in Savas that are interactive, and so that might open up some possibilities for you. I'm going to go into an account really quick and demo that really quickly. Same thing with any other application that you use that you've got worksheets that you would like. If you can download them and then drag and drop them into your Google Drive. Okay. Again, as fast as I can to demo this. I'm sure that some of you will come back and view. Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Okay, do you see my screen? I'm trying to call up, you should see an all white screen. There we go, it's really slow. It's really slow, sorry about that. I just want to really briefly show you how you can pan through here and find downloads in the Savas EasyBridge platform. I apologize, everything's working so slow, but it makes you guys feel better. You're not the only ones getting slow internet sometimes, right? Let's see, I'm going into my content and I'm going to scroll down to topic 1. And within topic 1, lesson 1, I can either download, let's say, my practice page. I'm going to open it. Up here in the upper right, there's a download button. I can download that. It ends up in a downloads folder down here, my downloads folder, show in folder. there's that top reteaching for topic 1, lesson 1. And if I want to use that in a Kami application simply to show my kids while we're talking and learning, I can open it up in Kami, or I can assign it to my students. So I'm going to keep this window open and demonstrate how quickly and easily I can add that to my my drive. First, I need to get out of the account I was in. Thank you for loaning me your account, young lady. Close this. Close this. And so if I open up my Google Drive, I can either drag and drop by having 2 windows open. So see how this window, everything is slowing down, isn't it? Sorry, gang. Here's my district Google Drive. Oh, gives me a chance to read. There's training samples. I'm going to go ahead and just pull it in here. So you can only put something in a folder if the folder is open. So if I open up training samples folder, and then I've got this document right here I just downloaded, I just drag and drop it right in. Hello. There we go. Just drag and drop it right in there. It's called ENVCA, which stands for Envision something. And now that it is open in my training samples right there, I can assign it to my students, as you've seen me do several times now. Or if I didn't want to just tap to open it, it'll open in Kami, and I can use this during a Google Meet while I'm teaching my students. So we have been asked several times about how to use document cameras during Google Meet, and should you be using your ViewSonic view boards during Google Meet? You'd like to be able to use whiteboard apps during a Google Meet, and you can do all those things, but you can also do this. This is students, what is this? And then you have their microphones might be open, maybe they're not. The students, I know that stands for 100, and I've got 2 other things there. So I have a 1, 2, 3. That's a 1 also, 1 column, but then I've got 3 in my ones column. And so I am the metacognition, and students are watching me, and I'm able to write, and whatever I see, they see, just like you guys are experiencing right now. All right, I've got 148, but I know there are probably questions and things that I promised that I've forgotten. So I am going to return back to not sharing my screen and open it up to questions. So if you have, let me just say, if you have a question, I'd like you to go ahead and feel free to say your question out loud. You'll have to unmute yourself. And then if you don't mind, as soon as you're done with your question, would you mind muting yourself as soon as you're done? Okay, so like if Maria has a question, she can unmute, ask a question, mute herself, and I'll answer it. How's that sound?
Good. So Kim, I have a quick question. I was just learning to use Google Slides and how you make the picture the background so that then that doesn't move when the kids write on it. If you're doing a blank document in Kami, and let's say I add a map to that document, do the kids automatically write on it and it does not move?
Exactly. That's actually the whole concept behind Kami, is it will take anything, and basically give an opaque layer over it so that you can write and draw. It's actually super, super cool. Yes.
And can I do the reverse then, possibly have them move things on the Kami page, or no, it's just adding to what I've created?
It's just adding to, except that you saw at the bottom of the toolbar, they had that they could pull things out of their drive. I'm going to prepare a separate training about that, because I think that's like a 201 class.
Yeah, no, I was thinking more like labeling parts of a map or something. So.
Oh yeah, they can totally label the map. Absolutely. They're going to add whatever they want to that. I actually have them on my samples, a blank California map. I taught 4th grade for 17 years. It's the first thing I think of is, oh, we can do the regions and we can do the missions. And so giving a kid a blank map and having them go through and label or go through and add little pictures of missions or something, that sounds like a blast.
Perfect. Thank you.
It kind of feels like a transparency, like you're putting a transparency over something and writing on it.
Yeah, the only way it's not like that is it'll actually read to you too, which I think is just amazing. So it is accessing the data on that page. I will warn you, if every once in a while, and I think it only happened when I was trying to attach something from my desktop, it would ask me if I wanted to use what's called OCR. And OCR is perfectly benign. If you ever see an OCR comment, it basically identifies words on a page. So if I have, like, say, a Venn diagram with some directions at the top of that page, it will detect words and say, hey, do you want us to, like, you know, recognize those words and give them meaning? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You might see that, but I think it really only does that when you're pulling off of your computer desktop. Good question, Maria. All right, what else? This is really cool, is it not? Nod your head vehemently if you agree that it's really cool.
Just
That's
a
what I need.
quick question. Instead of, I have my stuff on the OneDrive, and should I be moving it over to the Google Drive so that I could access through there?
Yeah, that's a great question, and you are not alone. I bet half the people on this call are kind of wondering that too. You're processing. I got used to OneDrive. Yeah, you cannot pull from OneDrive into Kami. And so when you know you're going to use something, I would definitely recommend moving it from OneDrive to Google Drive. But to do that, you cannot drag from one cloud to another cloud. Even if they were both Microsoft or both Google, you can't drag from one to the other. So you will need to download from your Microsoft OneDrive, and then you can drag and drop it into your Google Drive or upload it into your Google Drive. It just has to hit home first and then go back up. Okay. What else?
I have a question. When the students are using Kami to complete assignments and then they submit it in the Google Classroom, and when I open it to grade it, am I able to use Kami to mark over the break or highlight?
And I am 90% sure, positive that that is the case, but not 100%. So I will verify for you. That was Shanette?
Yes, I'm at Don.
I'll put that in the stream. I'll test it as soon as we're done here, and I'll alert you, but everybody will get the answer. Okay?
Awesome, thank you.
You bet. Who else? Did we do everything? Yeah, tons of a great idea for formative assessments. Absolutely. Yeah, I really was pleasantly surprised by, oh, I know what I was going to do on the blank page. I'm so pleasantly surprised, first of all, I'll finish my sentence, about all the cool things that were included that we didn't even know were included when we decided as a district to pay for it. So, yay, district. I'm going to share, I see, I've already forgotten what I was going to do. Just that quickly, guys. I have 169 more work days. I'm retiring at the end of the year, and it's about time because I'm losing it here.
Kim, I think you were going to do the capture page feature under comments on the blank page.
Yes, I was. Thank you, Natalie. Okay.
You're welcome.
I'm going to need you to join me. Let me just go up and open a new, let me first share. Robert, stop it. I'm going to share my entire screen, and then I'm just going to open up a blank sheet. And this is a really cool feature. You guys are going to use this. I'm so glad Natalie remembered me and she's reading my mind. All right, so I'm going into my Kami simply by tapping on the Kami extension at the top, the tippy top. I'm going to provide myself with just a blank sheet of paper. And you'll notice it says you can have as many sheets as you want. This is a new blank page. Add, and then right here, let's imagine that you guys are teaching 4th grade because, you know, it is the best grade. And I'm going to go into, see, I'm going to draw right here, and this, whoops, wrong pen. I'm going to use my finger this time, see if you can tell. 37 times 2 And now I'm going to go up to the comments thing over here on the upper left. Oh, file is not uploaded. That's okay. I don't need it uploaded right now. And I'm going to screen share. So remember we talked about this little guy right here, screen capture. I'm going to tap on that. And then I'm going to click over here. Come on, screen share. Click or insert text anywhere on the page and make screen capture comment. Oh. There we go. I had to click on the paper. Sorry about that, guys. I'm telling it what screen. I only have one screen today. And share. Now it is, you can see down here, recording my experience and my voice, but it's doing it with the screen. So if I'm trying 37 times 2 and 7 times 2 is 14. Oh, you know what? It's not capturing my drawing. Let me go back over here too. All right. Here we go. That's 14. Carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1 is 7. And this whole recording is being captured over here. You can see on the lower right, there's been 30 seconds of me doing 3rd grade math. And I could go all the way to 5 minutes, but I am done. But now I've captured that. And when I turn this in, or when I share it with my students, this is one more way to capture what's on a screen and either share as work or share as an example. I can go ahead and play this for you.
Now it is, you can see down here, recording my experience and my voice.
Right? Think about the potential on that one. I'm not going to go on and on about it because there's just so many cool tools and so many possibilities, and you guys teach every topic under the sun. So I just wanted to make sure, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that and give you that to kind of chew on, right? I think it's amazing.
Okay, Kim, so once you record that, is there a place that we could keep that on our Google Classroom so students who miss our open lesson can go back and watch that?
Sure. I don't know if it's, well, yeah, okay. Let me go back to, let me present now, and I'll show you where it's saving, first of all, because it is all integrated.
So what was happening in the spring is I had parents who were like doctors or first responders and come home later after I'd already taught.
Sure.
And I'd have to go back on and reteach, basically.
And everybody's got wonky hours now, absolutely. And not for nothing, but somebody with 2 or 3 kids in the house, your younger kids might be relegated to the, you know, the later in the afternoon time, that not the best time, right?
Exactly.
Absolutely. So we're all sharing devices. We're going to run out of devices. Who knows? I mean, there's a great sale right now at Walmart. All right. So I'm clearly sharing my page. This is what I just created. I didn't delete it or anything. I created this. Maybe I'm happy with it. I'm going to assume I am. Up here is my save button.
Okay.
All right, since it's saved in my, it's Cami Cloud. Cami assumes that whatever I do, I want saved. Right now it's called blank. So I'm going to change the name up here because I can see a day when I've got, 148 different documents named blank. So I'm going to go up here and call it sample math recording. Hello, RDING. And then I may upload it to my Google Drive. And now it is in my Google Drive. I mean, I'm only in my account. But where exactly is it? All you need to know is for sure, if it's in your Google Drive, you know you can find it to share it in your Google Classroom, right? But I'm going to go ahead and go to my Google Drive. And this is like walking a tightrope in front of folks because I'm not 100% sure exactly where it landed. But I believe there's something called Cami Uploads. So I'm going to scroll through here and find Cami Uploads. There it is. And when I open it, sample math recording, right? Pretty cool. I feel pretty good about my tightrope walk right now. I've got this here. If I want to share it in a Google Classroom, I know it's in my drive. Excellent. It's in a folder called Cami Uploads. I'm just going to go into this classroom here. I don't even know what classroom I'm in. I'm going to share it as a material, perhaps. You want to just have your kids able to watch this later. Here's my material. I'm going to add from my Google Drive. It might even come right up because it was kind of recent. Oh my God, it did. Right here, it's still considered a PDF, but it's got the recording attached to it. And then I've got insert, and there it is. Just add a title, a quick little suggestion about how or what to do when you watch it, put it in a topic, and move on. All right. Does that kind of answer the question?
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, super cool, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm checking my 2 o'clock on the button, you guys. Out of courtesy to everybody, I told you how long it was going to be. We confronted the agenda at the very beginning. We've accomplished a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to end this call with just the reminder that there is a link to our new website in the Google Classroom. This has been recorded the whole time, so it will be rendered and curated and put right under the other one that we did yesterday. And if you have additional questions, please just put them in the stream and we'll answer them as quickly as we can. Quick advertisement. Tomorrow is Google Forms, which also includes the quiz assignment. If you're interested in using Google Forms, quiz assignment is essentially the same thing. All right. Now you can take it off mute and say goodbye if you want to, because I'm going to take off in a second. Big wave.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Big wave. Guys, oh, I'm going to stop recording. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.